The following will be an overview for Visual versions 9.03 and 9.04. First, we will look at 9 enhancements that have been done for the manufacturing window. Next, we'll look at the want dates for the planning window, followed by the inventory by exception, a new filter. Default terms have been added. And finally, we'll look at the tools and administration section. The manufacturing window has 9 overall enhancements. We'll begin by focusing on 2 for in-process labor ticket display. The first enhancement will be borders around cards that have in-process labor tickets. You'll also notice that where the determined path exists will still be a thicker line. To set that up, you can go to the color palettes, and inside of there you'll notice that there is one for in-process labor tickets or in-process borders. Next, we'll cover in-process labor tickets, a new filter inside of the labor ticket selection. Underneath the view menu, you should be able to come down, show in-process labor tickets only. The filter just reduces it to the current in-process tickets. The manufacturing window header cards have been enhanced with the entered by field. I'll go into my header, and here you'll notice that I now have the entered by field. The displays include user ID, application ID, and process used to create the work orders. There are over 30 possible processes. See 904 release notes for a complete list. The material availability dialog will now update with the refresh button from the main form. In this example, I'm going to go through and open up material availability. When the dialog opens, I can see the requirements and the details for the requirements. And I'll just press the refresh button, and at this point you'll notice the updates will take place. So any work that's being done will be updated for material availability. A user toolbar enhancement has also been completed. To demonstrate the example, I have a custom program that I've added to the toolbar maintenance for the manufacturing window. Launching the toolbar feature inside of the manufacturing window, I can now go through and see that I no longer need to open lower level objects like operations to be able to see my application work. The Update Hours dialog for Engineering Masters has been enhanced. To begin, I will select one of my Engineering Masters. Then I will go to Update Hours dialog under the Edit menu, and I will select one of the work orders that I currently have and calculate based upon that work order. The hours or the new hours will be proposed, and now you'll notice that I can get in and I can modify them directly from the dialog. You'll also notice that it will no longer go out past 5 decimal digits on the numbers below. A new dialog has been added, allowing for the operations to be renumbered in either Quote Masters or Engineering Masters. I will begin by selecting one of my Engineering Masters. Once in the master, note my operation sequences. Final Assembly A and Final Assembly A2 are at 10 and 20. Going into the new dialog for renumber operations. Here you'll note that I can get in to see the new sequence number. I can change 10 to 20, and I'm going to change 20 to 10. I'll press OK to complete the process. And you should note that my Engineering Master now has been updated to switch those two operations. The grid view in the manufacturing window will now include some new configurations. In the manufacturing window, I'm going to now change the view to the grid display view. Once inside of here, I can discuss the new elements that have been added from part maintenance. We'll have customized user-defined fields, part specifications, part manufacturing specifications, as well as user-defined fields, the 10 user-defined fields from part maintenance. Here you'll notice some of the new part elements have been added to my grid view. I can go over to the grid display table configuration and add in more items if I need to. I'll scroll down the list, and here you can see the elements that have been added from the part table.
A new requirement column titled Want Date is now available to the standard mode table of the Material Planning window. If the requirement is of type work order, the Want Date column will be populated with the desired want date found in the header card of the associated work order. Inventory entries issued by exception window is a window where one could issue or return materials to work order operations in a single transaction. However, for those work orders with many material requirements, it may become cumbersome to scroll through and find which materials are to be issued to which operation sub-ID. A new column titled Resource ID will be added to the child table. Additionally, a new drop-down filter titled Resource ID has been added to the header. From here, I can simply filter the child table by the Resource ID and issue materials thereof. Upon creating a new customer or vendor and a terms has not been selected, Standard Processing will assign the first found record from the terms table given the due on receipt criteria of age of invoice, 0 days, and freight bill. Given those applications with multiple terms definitions of the same criteria, the first found record may not return the desired terms ID. In the Defaults tab of the Application Global window, a Terms Description and Browse push button has been added. From here, one can select the default terms at the global level. 903 decimal length precision have been increased for the following types of numeric fields: amount to 15 digits to the left, unit price or cost per to 14 to the left, and quantity columns at 12 to the left of the decimal. For those users with administrative permissions within Visual, a new feature currently available in the Part Maintenance, Customer Order, Purchase Order, and Purchase Receipt applications will allow one to view the data source of an object within the window. Clicking on this newly added toolbar button will display a question mark next to the arrow where the user could then click on an object and see its data source to the lower left of the Windows status bar. This concludes Visual's 903-904 overview. Thank you.